Hey everybody. So, what do you think a brand actually is? A lot of people think it's a logo or a tagline, and the truth is it's really none of those things. It's actually the essence of who you are. So, I'm Ann Bennett, if you don't know me, Ann Bennett Marketing, and I do a thing called Rebel Branding. So, today we're going to talk about like how do you stand out, how do you be different? Um, what are three ways that you can do that to start to begin to bring that into your business? Because the truth is, we all need to be branded. Whether you have your own business or whether you are working for somebody else, the way to really get noticed is to be branded. Be stand out, be different, know what your strengths are, and play to those. Never ever focus on what you're not good at or your weaknesses. So, in a brand, it's a way for us to really discover, well, what really makes me different and unique? Like, who am I? What is my personality like? What do I care about? Um, what are the things that really make me stand out? And a lot of us, listen, how are we going to know, right? It's kind of the saying, everything you need to know is right under your nose. Or I have another friend that says, you can't see your own eyebrows. And even as a branding person, writer, marketer, and I do videos as well, um, you know, I work with other people because when I'm even a brand kind of allows you to expand and know yourself even bigger than you actually are, at least in your own world. So, it's funny. I was thinking about this in the shower. You can see my hair is still a little bit wet. I just came out of the gym. Um, you know, the thing that really distinguishes each and every one of us from each other is what I call, your 1%. And your 1% is actually your life experience, not so much your expertise or what you're really, really good at. Because most of us, we're really good at what we do, and it's kind of like, hey, this is what it is. It's not as interesting. So, like, if you're a brain surgeon, all the brain surgeons know how to treat the brain, right? They know what they're looking at. But you really want to hook up with somebody that you relate to, that you feel safe with, that you really trust that they're going to do a great job, right? And your business probably isn't as critical as brain surgery, but to your ideal clients, it actually is. It's actually critical to their success and what they want to achieve in their lives. So let's talk about how you could start to look at how am I different? What makes me unique? So the first thing I like to tell people basically is, you're looking at your own personality, your own life stories, things that have happened to you. So the first way to get to that is what pisses you off or what breaks your heart. Because branding and marketing and everything about it is all about emotions and it's all about storytelling. People actually buy from you because it's an emotional response. It's not, oh, I really need this thing. Unless you're selling tires or something like that. But most of us are selling services. You know, we want to develop programs online to really help people. So it's a bit different. So you want to ask yourself that question and just allow yourself to free flow. Usually what happens is it's something in your past, an experience in childhood. It could be as simple as my father didn't buy me another ice cream cone when my ice cream cone dropped off onto the sidewalk and went splat. You know what I mean? It's like, and then what I made it mean was I'm never going to be able to handle more than one scoop. So one of the things to look at is what pisses you off. For me, I was pretty much of a rebel as a kid, so there's a lot of things that pissed me off. And as an adult, there's a lot of things that piss me off. Um, I'm a real advocate for human rights and things that matter in the world, um, animal rights, what's happening in our environment. Many of those things make me angry, as well as, we are still trying to get equal rights for equal pay. Really? Really? So we haven't really come very far in a particular way as human beings, and that kind of pisses me off. I just don't think it should be that way. So for some of you, it's what pisses you off, and for others of you, it'll be easier to write about what breaks your heart. It breaks my heart to see people um, suffer around their health when you don't have to, or be in pain. It really breaks my heart to see people who are really, really good at what they do, and they don't know how to talk about themselves. So they don't really end up making money and having a business doing what they love because they think it's actually not possible. And that kind of, it just doesn't have to be that way. So that breaks my heart. This is my morning latte before I get to really get down to working. But the other thing to look at is what I call power words. So power words are something that you use to inspire yourself and also inspire your clients and the people that you're working with. So when you look at it, you want to ask yourself a couple questions. You want to ask yourself, hey, what am I like when I'm completely immersed in my work, where I've totally forgot what time it is. I forgot to pick up the kids if you're a mom or a dad. I just don't know what time it is. I'm writing a concept or an idea or a story. It's usually what happens to me. Like last night, it was like 12 o'clock, and I was writing a story, a marketing story, and I had to get up at 6 to go to the gym. So I just kind of allowed that. I didn't get all freaky about it. I just kind of allowed it to happen. And it's going to be great. It's going to be great. So when you're in the zone, you lose yourself. You lose your personality. You lose who you are sometimes. You lose time. You're just completely present. So write 3 ways of being that you're like when you're completely present. So ways of being would be like hyper focused. For me, it's super creative, like tapped into the source and just downloading. Things come into my head, I just download it and I put it out on paper. Another thing that you might be like is you might be fully present or completely nurturing, things like that. So think about that. And then the second way to look at it is, what are you like when you're with somebody that you're working with? Or what do you want the other person to feel when you're present with them, when you're focused on them and you're either doing your work or you're just being present with a friend? What are you like? So are you really loving? Do you generously listen to people? Are you really a nurturer? Or are you somebody who's just a straight shooter? You just tell it like it is and how you see it. So when you start to look at this list, you've got 2 lists. What are you like when you're doing your work, or you're in the zone, or you're out even playing tennis or surfing? Surfing's a great example because you're just one in a moment. You really don't think. You're not thinking about, I'm on this gigundo wave. You just don't think about it. You are just in the zone. You're in the moment, fully present. Or what is it like when you're with your besties, with your best girlfriend or your best boyfriend, and you're really discussing things that you guys deeply care about, things that actually really matter to you. I'm not talking about cocktail conversation or bullshit. Oh, did I just say that? Yeah, I did. Okay. Um, I'm talking about things that the presence and discussion of things that matter to you. What are you like? Are you creative? Are you innovative? Are you someone who, oh, another way to look at it actually would be, what do people come to you for? What do they say about you? A lot of times we go, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. People come to me all the time for fun, right? They want to have fun. They want to be creative. They want to do things differently. And I just kind of go, yeah. I mean, that's how I live my entire life, is looking at things out of the box a little bit differently. In fact, there's not really a box. It's just everything kind of blends. And I teach that to my clients as well, that you can take things from your life experience all over, like what movie you saw. I mean, we were just talking about Wonder Woman and how that's a really great place to look at the sacred feminine, or what I call the power women, and what is that about, and a way that you could talk about it in your own business. So that's probably more than three things about how to distinguish yourself and stand out. And so I just want to ask you, and leave some comments if you want, like, what do you do to really magnify how you're different? Or post, your power words. And we can look at them. I'm happy to kind of comment and make some suggestions for you. These things can be used anywhere in your brand, but you want to make sure that some of your words that you like to use show up in when you're writing emails or communicating with your people. Okay? It's all about really being yourself, ultimately. The essence of who you are, plus your skills and what you're actually doing in your business, really come together, and that's what makes up your personal brand. So I'm Ann Bennett. It's Ann Bennett Marketing. Leave me some questions below if you'd like me to respond to some of your different ideas about what we're talking about. And I will be posting again on Friday. We're going to talk about creativity and where it comes from and how to really start to tap into that. Until later, it's be unapologetically you. That's the best brand ever. Bye.